Thanks for joining us for the WSL Post Show. So many big moments today, huge performances from those looking to save themselves on the CT. Big numbers and, well, some unbelievable individual manoeuvres as well. Here on the Harvey Norman host set, Ronnie Blakey with Felicity Parmentier and Richie Lovett. Rich, the conditions, some of the best we've seen this year when you think about what's unfolded so far in 2023, and the surfers, they responded with magic performances.
Yeah, they did, and we came down this morning. It was strong offshore. The swell had kicked a little bit. It was the perfect canvas today. It was our Bluebird day that we were hoping for. The WSL manifested this magic day, and it didn't disappoint. The performances were unbelievable.
And I guess, Felicity, it's kind of what we really want at this event in particular, is lots of opportunity for the competitors with the overlapping heats. We're giving them some extra time too to chase down those dreams.
Yeah, today, Rich, you already said it, but this is ideal size for main break. We had 6 to 8 foot. It was really consistent, light winds all day. And yeah, so much opportunity out there for such a crucial day of surfing.
How crazy was that finish too, to wrap the afternoon? Tatiana, Joe, Bugs and yourself were talking about it. She shored up her position just with what had unfolded in the previous heat. But Lakey Peterson, it was a must-make heat for her, and now she's put herself in a pretty good position to potentially make that cut in the back half of the year.
Yeah, she must be feeling so good about that result. I mean, she went in there and she was in do or die. She had to win. She had that nice wave at the end there. She surfed it really smooth, lots of flow. And yeah, she took a moment out there. The sun was setting, and yeah, stoked for her.
It was an extremely elated Lakey Peterson. She really held her nerve beautifully on that final ride. I'm sure we'll get to see it again in the highlights, but you know, with all that pressure on the line to take off and still be able to set the rail the way she did was super impressive.
Yeah, really clutch moment there, and it could have gone, you know, one of two ways, and it went the right way. You know, sometimes in those pressure situations, you'll just go over the handlebars and forget how to surf, but she didn't. She kept composure and, you know, rode the wave brilliantly. Maybe not to its maximum potential, but she did what she had to do.
You know, the cut has been a big story, but I think the biggest story we've been following throughout the lead up to this event is certainly the story of Kelly Slater. Below the cut line, needed to make a heat today to keep his place on the championship tour. The crowd, I think, is aware that they're seeing Kelly in his twilight years here. He had a really tough draw. Liam O'Brien doing the best surfing I think we've ever seen him do on the CT in this exchange, which made it even harder for Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, Liam was just surfing amazingly. I mean, you couldn't really fault his surfing. His wave selection too was really, really good. He just choosing these waves that just allowed him to just surf with such finesse and really blow the fins out of the back of the wave, and yeah, just timing, like yesterday, absolutely on point.
Yeah, Kelly, well, as we've seen him do for the past 30-odd years plus, you know, he brings this energy to the event that is just undeniable. You know, the crowds turned up. Every single one of the competitors who were still on hand, they went down to watch this heat as well. And there were moments, absolutely, in this heat where Kelly was really shining. He was looking for a particular kind of wave, but you can see here, Kelly was attacking the lip, coming up and under it. He was tagging it, but Lobby was out in front of it. He was dissecting it and carving through it, and I think that was the difference in the end. It was the wave choice, but certainly to see the 51-year-old surfing at this level, super inspirational.
Yeah, amazing. You know, you can tell, and Kelly's spoken about it over the years. You know, he does have to reach for the motivation sometimes, and it was certainly there today. It was an inspired performance, but not quite enough. Those falling under the cut on screen at the moment. Semi Pupo was the only surfer in that top 22 that fell below the cut line, with Barron Mamiya progressing through to the next round, the round of 16. So it was an unfortunate moment there for Sammy, but all these surfers you can look forward to seeing on the Challenger Series. But let's get a replay of what Kelly had to say after losing out to Liam O'Brien.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. First things first, Kelly, exciting heat. Yeah. Really great wave under priority there.
Yeah, that was a good one. I felt like all the energy shifted my way there. I thought it was going to turn, and then I got that big one with the chance to do it. I got a big first carve, and I was like, all right, this thing's starting out really nice, and then the wave kind of bent away from me, and I couldn't figure out. It was a wave where I couldn't take a bunch of downtime and wait for the last turn, so I tried to kind of find an angle, and it didn't set me into the last turn with a lot of speed, and then I fell on that last turn. And but I thought that was going to be the wave for it. In fact, the wave prior to that one I didn't take off on. I was like kind of in the foam on the lip, and it was a really good one too. That would have been a good enough wave to get a score like that, but I decided to wait, and I got the next one, which I thought was going to be better, but it sort of bent away a little bit, and I fell anyway, so you got to stay on your feet.
You've done that over your whole career, switched momentum in a heartbeat. Was that feeling any different to the start of your career?
No, it really just felt like one of those heats where the magic was going to happen. You know, Barron was in the water, and I was like kind of drawn on, okay, I got only 3 minutes left, but you know, I did this with Barron, and yeah, I was just kind of thinking back on that moment. You know, if you're within 10 points, you got a shot if a wave comes, you know, and that's how you got to think. And I felt pretty good. I've been surfing good last couple days, and I felt loose. I didn't feel stressed about the situation. I was actually really enjoying the day, and it's like perfect day. So whatever, you know, we're breathing.
Absolutely, we are. Some of us are breathing a bit faster than others up here. Kelly, tell me, plans for the future?
Plans for the future? I want to get really barreled somewhere. I'm looking over I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking over at the box right now. It's barreling like 6 feet still. Actually, there's a perfect wave. So I don't know. Figure it out. Let's see how things turn out.
Pretty good relationship with the next event on tour, eh?
What's that? Oh, is that Surf Ranch? Oh, yeah, we'll see. I know a guy, you know, but we'll see. I mean, Medina and Felipe got a pretty good relationship with that place. It's funny, all these years I've heard people, oh, it's unfair, he designed it. I'm like, I haven't won the thing. I didn't even make the top 8 last time, so.
I think you designed it for a goofy footer.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like it. But Felipe broke the curse finally after Medina won the first 2 or 3 events there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's, look, it is what it is. Everyone's surfing good on this tour. Everyone knows how to surf a heat, and you know, I'm really stoked to see where the level of surfing's at, and it's awesome.
Cool. Really appreciate your time, Kelly. Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting, that interview. I got to get your reaction to it, Rich. Kelly, for someone who's just missed surviving the cart by one heat win, he seemed incredibly jovial.
He seemed incredibly jovial and in true Kelly fashion, incredibly engaged in the moment as well. You know, there wasn't any kind of signs of animosity or sadness or regret or anything. It was like any other heat, post-heat interview that we've seen him give over the last 10, 20, 30 odd years, where he's breaking it down on what happened. And again, also in true Kelly fashion, it was very non-committal as to what his plans are going to be going into the future. But, you know, one thing is undeniable, and that's just how amazing this man is, you know, and his contribution to professional surfing will never be topped, never be matched. Yeah,
you had a great moment on the stairs today when Kelly was surfing, and you said, you know, Kelly's performance level hasn't dipped. Everyone else's performance level has come up. For 3 decades, he's been surfing at this incredibly high level. And you also added to the point by saying in waves of consequence, the heavy water locations on the championship tour like Pipe and Chopu, when it's A1 conditions, if someone had to surf for your life, Kelly is the person you'd choose. So, you know, that just sort of says something about how incredible this guy is, Felicity.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And I just echo everything both of you have said. I mean, what's left to do that this guy hasn't done yet? I mean, maybe
figure out what he's going to do. That's what we've got to do. But good luck. No, he's the man. He said a lot in that interview, and he also didn't say too much at all. But he is in a good place, you can tell. I know he's had a niggling hip injury, so obviously he's going to address that. But yeah, it looks like he's ready to enjoy his time in the West, even though he's not going to be alive in this draw.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, he actually said in an interview not too long ago that he kind of felt like he was in a year-long slump. But let's have a look at some of these stats here. Yeah, have a look at this. You know, Kelly, always mentioned in the same sentence as some of sport's greats. The greatest of all time, Tom Brady there. I mean, only 7 Super Bowl championships. Kelly's got 11 world title. No comparison. Kelly's rookie season, 91. I mean, he was winning world titles before many of the surfers on the championship tour were even born. And he's still here. And just last year, won a Pipe Masters event. He's a remarkable human.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible.
Look, we would need, I feel like, 50 post shows put together if we were to really dive deep into all the contributions that he's made and all the performances, the heat wins, the world titles, everything he's done in and out of the water for the sport. So yeah, I feel like it's, you know, this chapter's not over yet. Still being written.
Let me ask you this then. You know, do you think this is the end of the road for Kelly? Because like that interview just suggested to me that we're going to see him again. No,
I don't believe for a second that that's it. It's there would have been something in that conversation where Kelly said, okay, I'm done. This is my plan. The fact that he didn't commit to anything just tells me that he's back. He's going to come back.
I like it, Rich. I like what you took away from that interview. Barron Mamiya, he was the one surfer below the cut line that has managed to save his place on the CT. You've got to give him props. I mean, he didn't look at his best in the early stages here against Kaio Abeli, but he rallied much like Lakey Peterson in the last heat of the day.
Yeah, he really did. And it was exciting towards the end of this heat. And it was a do-or-die heat for Barron. And like you said, he was the only one to jump up ahead and make that cut. And you know, Kaio, you know, this event, he's looked a bit not too stoked with all of his performances, I'd say. And maybe that was just playing with his head a bit. He was a couple of priority things didn't quite go his way. But, yeah, it was all about Barron, really, just making this big comeback here.
Yeah, this was a great heat, Ronnie, and I actually watched it in the competitors area, and there was 15 of his colleagues all watching the screen to see how this one was going to play out. And, you know, for me, Barron's performance hasn't quite eclipsed where he was last year. I feel like he's still trying to get back into that form, but certainly did enough in this high-pressure situation, and great to see him progress.
Yeah, he's been driving around on flat tyres, but that'll pump him up a little bit. And, yeah, he's made the cut. And here is the cast that you can enjoy watching through this back half of the season. And now the battle for the top five, the final five, is going to be underway. And what a battle it's going to be. Some real form at the top end. Obviously, there's an opportunity for Felipe, Ethan, Griffin Colapinto to make up some ground on Jack Robinson, who's sadly not here. But yeah, it's going to be awesome, and some real talent holding their places at the back of the ranks as well there.
Yeah, it's a good mix actually, and you know, traditionally surfers aren't positioned where you think they'd normally be, but one thing for sure, it sets up an incredible run to this final five, and well, it's on, you know, as of right now, as of today, you got to reset the goal, reset your sights on where you want to be, and that's the final five. And
I'm really relieved too to see Ian Gentile survive the cut,
Agree.
because he didn't get the opportunity to surf his heat today, and he's looked really good through the last few events. So congratulations, Ian, and all the best for a speedy recovery. Right now, though, let's feel the buzz. Let's feel the energy from Lakey Peterson, who just got through the last heat of the day.
Couple close ones, Lakey. That must feel good.
Oh my God, it does. Yeah, I feel like this whole year I've been in the really, really close heats, and none of them have gone my way, and that one did fall my way. So I just feel really grateful for that, and I'm obviously fighting to stay on tour. So yeah, just got to keep making heats here. And yeah, just really thankful. I didn't surf the best heat. I didn't surf great, and I made a few bad mistakes, but a win's a win, and I learned a lot from it, so I can kind of take that into the next one.
The next one will be against Carissa Moore. What do you make of that matchup?
Yeah, bring it on. I love that. I think I surf my best when I have Carissa or someone of that caliber. I mean, everyone on tour is of that caliber, really, but I love surfing against Riss, and I've beat her a few times out here, so I'll give it a good crack.
I like the headspace, Lakey. Best of luck for when you next surf. Thanks for your time.
Oh, she's buzzing, Lakey Peterson, and for good reason. They're the heat wins that Rich no doubt feel better than any other.
Oh yeah, you know, when you're progressing and one step closer to making that cut, that's, you know, that's big stuff. And we saw some of the you know, opposing emotions today when surfers actually dipped out, and it's heartbreaking. And
also, Felicity, just holding your nerve when the pressure's on like that, and still being able to deliver the score you need to get ahead of your rival.
Yeah, I mean, and Lakey made it happen in the back end of that heat too. You know, she needed a score, and she remained composed, and that's what you have to do if you want to make this cut. And she took off. She had a nice wall ahead of her, and yeah, she got the score, which is pretty nice. And then she got to soak it in right on sunset.
One of the stars of the opening round of competition was Betty Lou Sakura-Johnson, dropping the second highest heat score total and matching Tyler Wright with the single highest score, wave score of the opening round. Had her hands full with Bronte McCauley. We knew it was going to be the case, but she started so beautifully, Rich.
Yeah, she did. It was an incredible opening ride, and at this point we were thinking, oh, Betty Lou's just going to build here and just take full domination of this heat. But she got a bit sleepy, a little bit maybe, selective in her wave choice, and that allowed Bronte McCauley to just pick up a couple of absolute gems. Great pace to the wave on her backhand, just jamming some of those really vertical turns, and obviously feeling super comfortable out here.
There's wild cards that can be unpredictable and a little daunting just because you don't know too much about them. And then there's surfers like Bronte Felicity who have great CT experience, and they're just so tough to overcome.
Oh, well, you got to know coming up against Bronte here that she has had good results in the past. I think it was last year she got a third, and you know what to expect. She's got so much experience. So even though Betty Lou had that one good wave, I mean, Bronte just came back firing.
These are the surfers that have been confirmed as making the cut. Molly Picklum, Carissa Moore, Tyler Wright, Caitlin Simmers and Tatiana Weston-Webb. Despite the fact that she lost out in that last heat of the day, she has done enough to keep her place on the tour, and she'll be campaigning through that back half of the season and obviously on into 2024. But we've been lucky enough to catch up with Tatiana Weston-Webb with Stace.
Tatiana, long day down here, lots of heats being run. That one unfortunately not going to plan for this event. However, you have made the cut, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely didn't go according to plan that heat. I wanted to finalize all those maneuvers that I fell on, and it just killed me every time. I barely slipped off, but what was the most important was that I was surfing pressure-free because I kind of felt like I already made the cut. So yeah, really, really grateful because the cut is never anything anyone wants to go through. It's really difficult, and obviously there's 10 women on tour after the cut, which is like nothing. So yeah, just happy to be part of that group.
That's right, the talent on tour is massive, and we're stoked to see you a part of it. Congratulations, and best of luck at the next event.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tatiana, she's got a lot more to give, and she'll throw away a bad result from this first half of the season and really look to campaign hard to get back into that final five. She hasn't missed that opportunity to have a crack at a world title yet.
No, it was interesting. She actually said she kind of thought she had already made the cut in that heat, and she was surfing pressure free. I was wondering that the whole time watching. Does she know that or not? And so it was kind of clear she did know, and maybe it allowed her to kind of free her surfing up, and even though she didn't get the win, she still made the cut. Yeah,
you can tell there was some relief there too, though, Rich. It wasn't the normal Tatiana reaction after losing out early in a contest.
That was the happiest losing interview I've ever seen from Tatiana. But yeah, she's obviously come within a manoeuvre of winning the world title. So that's where her head's at now, and she'll have her sights firmly set on it.
We saw some big combinations today, but as far as individual turns, we didn't see anything better than what Italo threw our way, the 2019 world champ, kind of getting back to what seems like an event-winning form. This is the Boost Mobile wave of the day. Have a look at this thing.
Oh, man.
Just the distance covered.
Yeah, you'd have to say that he possibly travelled about 10 or 12 feet in the air, possibly even more, maybe 15 feet. But it was just one of those critical aerials that you just didn't expect him to make. And really, the celebration lasted for quite a while, basically as long as he could have stayed on this wave, and for good reason. I mean, that's one of the better airs we've seen from Italo in competition ever.
Full whitewater rapids as he rode out of that turn. And we made the comment, Felicity, that it would have been treacherous just to take off on that wave and ride in a straight line over the reef, but he did the big rotation over the top of it.
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine coming down from being 10 foot in the air, looking down, seeing those bricks there with shallow reef, and then, oh, okay, I'm just going to casually land right here. I mean, far out. It was amazing surfing, and like you said, Rich, I think this is probably the best surfing we've seen from Italo in contest for a long time, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's awesome, and he really did light up the Red Bull Athlete Zone, or I think it's the benchmark for those big individual progressive manoeuvres, and hopefully everyone else steps up to meet him. But let's now have a look at the Surfline forecast. We knew today was going to be magic. It delivered. But what can we look forward to, Rich, over the next couple of days?
Well, tomorrow's going to be interesting, and Flick, you can back me up on this one. shades of this world starting to die off a little bit this afternoon.
I think, yeah, look, it is going to get a little bit smaller, but from what I've been looking at on the Surfline forecast, I think tomorrow morning we're going to have waves up until around lunchtime, and we're going to have light winds as well, which means that I think we're on for competition tomorrow. After that, though, we're seeing a different change within the swell. We're going to have a lot of swell and a change in the wind too, big winds, big swell, and possibly off maybe for a couple of days. We'll see.
Looking ahead here on the 4-day forecast, I'm seeing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at some of the wineries and possibly some competition tomorrow. So, we'll be down here bright and early. And then on the other side of that, it looks like it's cleaned up again. So we could be here for the duration.
You might need a chin strap for that hat, Rich. Pretty blowy over the weekend. But let's dive into some unbelievable highlights from today as we get stuck into the top 5 moments. John Florence coming in at number 5. I think he's up to 42 excellent rides in this event now, banking an 8.5 to kick things off here in the round of 32.
Oh, just amazing stuff. You called it a romance, so you take it.
I know, this was just crazy. I mean, I just can't believe how many variations this guy has of the layback. It's incredible to watch, and I keep saying it, but this is the romance, and I can't look away. Main break and John.
Yeah, it's something special, isn't it? Molly Picklum at number 4 really survived this heat, Rich. She showed us that even when she's not at her best competitively, she can formulate a strategy to overcome tough customers.
Yeah, it was a really gutsy effort from Molly, and she, in her self-assessment, not one of her best performances, but did what she had to do. Really laid into some nice turns. Didn't overcook it because she just knew that she had to get some good work done on and get the win, and she did it.
Hasn't missed a final series this year. Can you believe it? Coming in at number 3 was the just devastating backhand of Yago Dora. That first turn, absolute money. He dropped the 9. This was at the start of the heat when he didn't have any priority.
Yeah, amazing to do that under a priority, and I love watching Goofies on this right at Margaret River. I mean, he just looks so on point. His timing's perfect too, and really showing us that variety as well, which I love to see.
Yeah, totally. I feel like these goofy footers in particular, Yago and Ryan Callan and Connor O'Leary, and then also let's throw Bronte McCauley into the mix too. They've found out how to really inject a lot of power into their surfing and match the natural footers who have kind of had the lion's share of big scores at the right-handers here. But this was an amazing display as well, and just really tenacious from the local.
Making the use of the wildcard opportunity, Bronte in at number 2, but it is Italo owning the day, the Boost Mobile wave of the day, and also our number 1 moment in the top 5 with this huge punt. Just incredible speed down the line.
Oh, look at how far he travelled, and then to land on the bricks there, and yeah, he knows it. Look at that claim, massive punt, massive score.
Yeah, and it's great to see the smile back on his face, Rich, because he's kind of entered that sort of very focused, very serious, intense kind of competitive mode. But it just feels like when he's having a good time and celebrating those big moments, that's when he's at his best. Yeah,
and you get the feeling that if Italo catches fire, then he's really going to start pushing up the ratings there. But, it was an amazing display. And the only reason I feel like it didn't go to a 10, because I've been asked why it wasn't at a 10, is that perhaps there's opportunity for him to do 1 or 2 big turns outside and then finish with one of those. So the judges just showing a little bit of restraint.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Happy with that.
Yeah, happy with that.
It's going to be awesome to see the big matchups coming together for the quarterfinals on the women's side and for the round of 16 for the men. You can check all those out at worldsurfleague.com. Right now, though, we're going to leave you with amazing highlights from a very special day in 2023. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning to potentially get competition back underway. Enjoy the show. Good morning, a beautiful Saturday morning here at Margaret River, and we are looking at beautiful conditions.
We've woken up this morning and the swell is well and truly here.
It's going to be amazing.
A victory for the local boys.
Two dolphins just leaped into the air.
Emrod will be heading to Sapper Rocks for the Challenger Series.
Killers on the loose, but what can you do?
Kanoa trying to stay on tour past this mid-season cut.
Oh, ain't it
setting himself up.
Absolutely laying the board on rail there.
Break there in equal 21st position. Pupo out of the mix. Jackson is out of the mix.
But this wave just completely bottoms out down the Gurgula.
Chiankai, world number 1. He started off with a 2 Brian. 7.83 out of the gates. 51-year-old, 11-time world champion to take on Liam O'Brien. Can he match Kelly on the opening exchange? Kelly needs a 7-7.
He has left nothing on the table.
And Kelly Slater has not made the cut.
Screaming down the line here, looking for it.
Massive backside reverse. He's hanging on for the finish. Gets out in front. Like a whole new level of commitment.
It's party time. John Florence just hit the water.
Massive layback jam in the pocket. Absolute mastery.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.